terms. You're going to be using specific terms for specific topics. And my topic in question is actually Malaysian Airlines Flight 653. Now, a bit of a history. There was a lesser known incident involving a Malaysian Airlines aircraft in the 1970s when there was a hijacker that unfortunately hijacked a Malaysian Airlines aircraft, a Boeing 737, when they were about to land in Subang. And so the plane was actually not fueled to actually go to Singapore, but the hijacker went to fly to Singapore anyway. Unfortunately, as the plane tried to fly to Singapore, it ran out of fuel above Johor. It went on to a nosedive, and unfortunately, it crashed into a swampland in, I believe it's called Tanjung Kupang. Yeah, Tanjung Kupang. So, yeah, it's in Kampung Ladang, Tanjung Kupang. Unfortunately, there were a lot of casualties. There were no survivors. From what we're seeing here, that there were 93 passengers and 7 crew members. Unfortunately, they all perished, including the hijacker. So, let's not sidetrack us about the story a bit too much. So let's go into the translation. So, the website that I get this info in question is from Wikipedia. I took both the English and Malay Wikipedia articles and I tried to compare them one by one. And yes, I have to do some modifications to make sure that the translation is a bit more one-on-one. Okay, first of all, let's take a look into the first sentence. You can see here, Flight 653 departed from runway 22 at Penang International Airport at exactly 1921 for Kuala Lumpur One Airport, now known as Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah Airport. That's the English text. You scroll down and you get the Malay text and it says, penerbangan 653 berlepas dari lapangan terbang antarabangsa Bayan Lepas. You can see here there's already a bit of change. Instead of Penang International Airport, it's Bayan Lepas International Airport. I believe it's mostly because it's a more localized name, and I think Bayan Lepas should be something that's more understandable by locals. Landasan 22, runway 22. Again, this is a specialized translation for aviation-related terms. Pada pukul 19.21, GMT tambah 8. The GMT tambah 8 is actually an addition in the Malay translation, as they want to specify the time, actually, the time that the plane departed in local time. And then continue on ke lapangan terbang antarabangsa Subang. Sekarang dikenali sebagai lapangan terbang Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah. And then we move on to the second paragraph. We had to do some modifications here. Passengers included the Malaysian Agriculture Minister, Dr. Ali Haji Ahmad, Public Works Department Head, Dr. Mahfuz Khalid, and Cuban Ambassador to Japan, Martin Garcia Chaustegui. And you can see here, in the Malay text, it says penempatan masuk Menteri Pertanian Malaysia, Dr. Ali Haji Ahmad, Pengarah Jabatan Jenderaya, Dr. Mahfuz Khalid, dan Pembesar Cuba Malaysia. Although I have to admit, I'm not sure which information is more correct, the Cuban ambassador to Japan or Cuban ambassador to Malaysia, because already we get to see some conflicting translations in both texts.
I see.
So, but then again, I believe it's written by two different people without direct references between each other. So that also might be a limitation that we have to highlight in the Wikipedia translations. By the way, we got this translation in wikipedia.org.
Alright.
There's actually a bit more. So we're going to swap again into the final text. And 2036, the residents of Kampung Ladang, Tanjung Kupang in Johor, reported hearing explosions and seeing burning wreckage in the swamp. The wreckage was later identified as the aircraft Flight 653. It had hit the ground at a near vertical angle at a very high speed. There were no survivors. But in the Malay paragraph, it says, pada jam 20, penduduk Kampung Ladang Tanjung Kupang di Johor melaporkan bahawa mereka terdengar bunyi letupan dan melihat bangkai pesawat yang terbakar di kawasan raya. Bangkai pesawat tersebut akhirnya dikenal pasti sebagai pesawat MH653. Pesawat tersebut melanggar bumi pada kelajuan yang tinggi pada suhu hampir menengah. You can see here that they also use mathematical aviation terms to give us a better visualization on how the aircraft crashed. And in the English text, they said there were no survivors, but in Malay, they gave us a bit of an addition to give us more details about passengers and crew counts. Says tiada seorang pun daripada kesemua 93 penumpang dan 7 anak kapal yang berada di dalam pesawat tersebut selamat. So, for more information, you can search about Malaysian Airlines Flight 653 on both English and Malay Wikipedia articles, so you can do some comparison yourself. But I think I'm sidetracking a bit too much here, and would like to allow for anyone else to share their thoughts. That's all for me.
Okay. Let me okay. So mine is I choose a music lyrics translation, which is I choose the song of Don't Let Me Down from Chainsmokers. The Chainsmokers. Have you guys heard about that?
Of course, it's my favorite.
Yes.
I first sing it from the
You guys have heard about that?
I heard, but not. It's not a.
Not so into
Not so
song.
into that one. At very least.
Okay. So my song is about Don't Let Me Down, and the translation why in Malay is Jangan Hampakan Aku. So what do you guys think of the translation?
Okay, first of all, I need to highlight this part. First of all, Don't Let Me Down has 4 syllables. How are you going to fit 7 syllables in 4?
Yeah.
That's going to be a bit of an issue.
But the translation is Jangan Hampakan Aku. Jangan Hampakan Aku. This is 7 syllables.
Okay, it's 6 to 7, but still,
6 to 7,
you
yeah.
have to cram 6 syllables in 4. How are you actually going to cram the Malay amount of syllables into only 4?
Yes, okay. But that's not an issue for me because after I have analyzed all of those lyrics from from English to Malay, I have found that first of all, it's about the. Okay, let me tell you the reason why I chose this song. Okay, because it's not about I choose the reason why I choose this song, but why I choose songs to analyze. Okay, so basically because the lyrics of song have a very emotional and very poetic words that we can't translate it easily, and we can't translate we just want to translate literally. You cannot do that. Okay, so that's why I try to analyze, because before this I'm doing the translation from English to Malay for songs, and I have found it is very hard to do, and it's not easy to make it sounds natural as the original song. So that's why after I found that other translator also did the translation of the music of the lyrics, I found that a bit not a bit, actually there's a few things that I couldn't deny that they did a great job, because the choice of words that they use, and also I couldn't deny that there is a mistake of using the Malay language. Okay, because we have a lot of ambiguous words that we can use. It depends on the context, and it depends on the songs itself. Okay, for my part, I have found that the word of, okay, we talk about the accuracy first. Okay, there's a lyric called "Stranded Reaching Out." I don't know how to rhyme about the lyric, but the lyrics from original English is "Stranded Reaching Out." The translator translated as terkandas menjangkau. Okay, for a Malay speaker, for us, you guys know the word menjangkau? Honestly, menjangkau.
Okay, it might be a direct translation in this case.
Yes.
See here, it could be reaching out in terms of asking assistance or something like that.
Yes.
And maybe not trying to reach out, for example, trying to reach out, stretching your arms to grab something, like me trying to grab this microphone.
Yeah. So, but in this context, the stranded, because the stranded, the part, the kandas is actually accurate, or it's actually suitable in the context. But for menjangkau is ambiguous word in Malay, because menjangkau can have a lot of meanings. Okay, you can menjangkau you want to take things. You can menjangkau you jangkau something this.
There's also, sorry, I feel like there's also something that menjangkau akal fikiran.
Yes, menjangkau akal fikiran. So there's a lot of meanings from menjangkau, right? So for me, instead of using menjangkau, you can use the word menggapai, because I suggested the word menggapai because in this context, the writer of the songs actually want to express that she is it she or he? She, right? Chainsmokers is he.
Chainsmokers is actually
A band, right? But a band, yes. So it's actually he want to say that he is stranded menjangkau, we can use a lot of word. What? A lot of word contains a lot of a lot of what we call the sentence.
Okay, from what we can tell in all creative texts, in my opinion, you gotta need to understand the content of the song. You gotta know what the message is actually about. And the idea is that if you want to translate creative text like these songs, you gotta have to understand the context, what the message is, and then try to find and also try to visualize how the song was built in
Yeah,
terms of
that's right,
the
that's
syllables, and how do you try to make sure you fit in those words and you try to get the same meaning, right? Two, get the same feel, and three, get the same message. You gotta have to take all these three into account if you want to have a very good translation.
That's why I suggested this issue. I bring this issue because like we need to use the suitable word for the context. Okay, for the translated one. For me, the translated didn't use the suitable one for the context because like I said just now, menjangkau have a lot of meaning. So we cannot use menjangkau because there's actually an equivalent word for menjangkau in English. Okay, so that's why for just suggested improvement, I would say that the word of menggapai is more accurate for the translation. Okay, same goes to the next things, which is we call it as a natural translation or colloquial. Because for me, to make it sounds very sounds doesn't hurt like weird or so on like natural. We need to at least translate it as natural as we can. Like we need to make sure that when the people first time listen to the translated one, and I never thought that is in English version. So I listen, oh, this is a Malay song. If you doing a good translation or great translation, the impression from the first timer who listen to the song will be like that. Oh, this is a Malay song. They will never expect that it's actually the original version, which is the English version. Okay, so the part for my example is if you could put the word over here, which is the lyric called I think I'm losing my mind. Okay, I think I'm losing my mind. Then the translator translated as aku rasa aku nak aku rasa aku naik gila. Which is aku rasa aku naik gila sounds so weird because like if you nyanyi aku rasa aku naik gila, aku rasa aku naik gila. What does that mean? Aku rasa aku naik gila. Okay, because like for a Malay speaker like us, we don't usually use the words like aku rasa aku naik gila.
Yeah, that sounds weird.
Yes, but I didn't realize that in a Malay term, it is correct to use the aku rasa aku naik gila. But to make it more casual, to make it more natural, I think like we cannot use aku rasa aku naik gila because it will sound like if you sing the aku rasa aku naik gila, right? Cannot.
I can understand that the structure is compromised. It doesn't feel natural.
Yes. Then for my suggestion, I would suggest like they just need to put aku rasa aku gila. Aku rasa aku gila sekarang because like I think I'm losing my mind now. So aku rasa aku gila sekarang. Only that things. You don't need to put like another word to make it sounds like this is Malay. Okay, this is Malay. No. When you translate to Malay and you use it as the casual word for Malay, and of course the listener of the song is actually from the Malay speaker who like, you know, our tongue is very slang Gen Z right now, slang anything and so on. So aku rasa aku naik gila, aku rasa aku gila sekarang can like express anything. You know the words of aku rasa aku gila sekarang, you know the meaning, right? Okay, what do you understand from aku rasa aku gila sekarang?
Aku rasa aku gila sekarang. I'm being crazy now.
Yes, I mean crazy. Same goes to I think I'm losing my mind, right? Okay, because like you cannot like do the direct translation of the lyric. Like
I think it's very precise of way to use the word like crazy.
Yes.
Aku rasa aku gila. That one is actually more suitable rather than you say what do you call this now?
aku rasa aku naik gila. Yes, and so on. Okay, next like what can I remind from this thing is actually the translator did a great job because after before I spot that there is a mistakes about the using of word, the choice of word, I actually like focus on the importance that the translator keep it, which is like the translator keep the melody of the song, the rhythm of the song. Because okay, other than make it sound natural, we also need to make sure that our translation text is suitable with the rhythm. Okay, because this is a song. Okay, if you put that more lyrics than the original one, more translation text from the original one, the reader will be like, will be like, it's too much. You cannot sing the song sounds like the original music,
Yeah.
and so on. And for the cultural sensitivity, because we know that the English version is actually, the English culture is actually different with our Malay culture, right? So for this one, I can find that actually the translator have his own. I don't know this translator is a man, boy or girl, right? But actually he or she actually maintaining the translator resonates like for Malay speaking audiences, because like he or she know whether this word is suitable to use to translate this one or not, because like you cannot translate like fuck and so on. You cannot translate as a bad thing in Malay. So because we know that Malay speaker actually comes from all age, so we cannot let the using the word the using of the word.
Swear words.
What?
Okay, swear words. So you're talking about swear words in
Swear word says that.
like swear words, like for example, swearing, like using the bad mouthing. Like
Bad mouthing.
Okay, so alright, so here's the thing. The song Don't Let Me Down is an explicit song, at least in its original form. I think you should know that in music regulations in the United States even, if you want to release an explicit version, you are recommended to also release a clean version.
Yeah.
A clean version is not even in the United States, but I think what you're trying to highlight is that Malay is a language that follows the saying sopan santun, budi bahasa. That is apparently what Malaysia is all about. So no matter what, you have to try to make sure the lyrics are clean for all ages to.
Yes, that's why I feel that this translator is actually did a great job doing
Okay,
that.
not bad like that.
Because like he or she also enhance the relatability and emotional impact in the affordability listeners. Okay. Other than that, because I think I got a lot of things to say about this one, but I'll keep it short. For you guys. Okay. Okay, I got actually the important things that I want to tell about the lyrics for you guys. Okay, first of all, if you guys want to translate music in future, if you guys say I'm gonna translate this lyric and so on, actually you guys must understand the original nuances of the lyrics first, okay? Because if you guys don't understand the original nuances or you guys don't understand the context, you guys cannot translate it well. So for those who want to translate the music so on, it's not about the music, but it's about the creative words or creative text. Same goes as like poems, same goes like what do we have? Poems, storybook, and so on. You guys must focus on the context first. Then after that, you guys can use your own language, your own words to describe what is the meaning of the context, not do the direct translation. Because for me, I wouldn't recommend to do like literal translation or direct translation for the creative text translation and so on. I think that's all from me and from my part, from my analysis, and maybe you can move to who? Anis, yes.
Can I borrow your laptop?
Yes, you can.
So hello everyone, my name is Anis. So in today's episode, I will talk a bit about the
it's not
I mean, like you were aware of it.
I haven't been able to find a suitable.
No, no,
It's okay.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay, go on, Alice.
Alright, so Sasri, have you heard about Tinder?
I heard and I used it before.
You-
However, I still haven't been able to find someone. I'm very particular, but let's continue with Annie's stories.
So this advertisement is not actually about the dating side, but it's more likely to a sugar daddy, sugar baby terms, you know? This is so interesting, but not too interesting because I'm talking about the poster, the mistakes of the poster. So the reason I chose this poster is because it is one of the most confusing advertisement I have ever encountered. Why is so? First, there is a mistake in the source text, which is there is a comma after two adjectives words, which I think according to the appropriate grammar, a comma should be used after three or more adjectives, right? So the correct version should be where beautiful people meet, successful people gather. I'll put the poster here. Here, I'll put the poster here. You can see
Well,
the
you can put it edited later on the.
yeah, I will show the
Yeah.
poster here so you guys can see the difference before I correct the new versions, translated text. Okay. So, however, in the translated text in Malay, the word young is repeated. So, I will put together here for the target text as well. So, while this repetition is conveying the same meaning, I believe it could be more accurate and more smoother for the viewer to read. So my suggestion is di sinilah bertemunya orang-orang yang cantik dan berjaya, because as you can see in the Malay versions, the original text is di sinilah bertemunya yang cantik dan yang berjaya. That's why I'm trying to say that they use the repeated words. Suggestion is the di sinilah bertemunya orang-orang yang cantik dan berjaya.
So you're going to repeat the orang-orang instead of
Yeah.
oh, it's good.
What do you guys think about that?
Actually, it's good. It sounds more casual than formal one for the original one. So
Alright.
it doesn't sound so formal.
Thank you for the idea. Okay, before I proceed to the next poster, I would like to mention that there might be a deletion strategy used in arranging words in the target text. However, the translated version may not be suitable for the viewer to see or understand. If you, as the viewer or audience listening, do you want to see the billboard that have a mistakes, or you feel confused when you see?
Alright.
For a dating site.
But the fact that it's already a sugar daddy website, it already is gonna make us ask a lot of questions. But the fact that there's actually some errors and mistakes that would give the perspective or rather the impression that they are not serious enough in their target market and all that stuff.
Yes.
So based on my insight, I can see that with those mistakes, prospective customers may lure themselves away from the product because of the errors it proves, and actually they might actually take it less seriously than they hoped for, even to a comedic effect to some extent. Like we've seen some billboards with translation errors. A lot of people would make use of it on the internet. Although it can count as some publicity, and even bad publicity is publicity, sometimes it doesn't. When you have bad publicity, it still means that you're still going to, have some people who are not taking it seriously enough.
So I know, do you agree with Sajid's opinion?
Yeah, pretty much that's his opinion and I respect it.
Alright, you as well?
Me too. Yeah.
Alright, so let's just proceed to the next poster that I'll put here as well. So the second poster concerns the translation of the definitions and example of a direct democracy from English to Malay. So I selected the text because to ensure accuracy. So for instance, direct democracy, if you translate in Malay, what do you translate?
Democracy.
Direct democracy.
No,
Democracy.
that's literally a term. That's literally the term from what we see in
I
democracy.
think on my opinion, direct langsung. Can it be used?
Langsung, right? So from my opinion, democracy langsung. So direct democracy. So you need to translate the direct.
Huh?
You know, no,
What is the word
the
again?
Vivian. Bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Farhani. So today I will be talking about translating a legal text. Okay, so legal text. Translating a legal text is a complex task that require a deep understanding of both source and target language. Okay, as well as the legal system involved. Legal document like a contract or court ruling need to be translated with a absolute precise to avoid any misinterpretation. This means paying close attention to like terminology, ensuring that legal terms are accurately translated to reflect their specific meaning. And then the style of the text is also crucial, such as a legal document have a formal and structured style that must be preserved in translation. Accuracy is paramount, as even a small error can lead to significant legal consequences. Okay, so the translator must not only be fluent in the language, but also have a very solid grasp of legal concept to ensure the translate document is clear, precise, and legally sound. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay guys, that's all from us, include Farhani just now. I know that you guys have been like, you listen to Farhani's analysis and her opinion and so on. So I'm gonna conclude this podcast. Okay. So you guys have anything to say, anything else to say to add on maybe before I conclude this podcast?
First of all, I just wanted to tell you, every translation requires a different method. Not
Yes.
all translations have to be used in a similar method. Some translations you gotta be direct. Other translations you gotta find some leeway and try to preserve elements of the source text. And that is basically how you do your translations. And in these specialized texts, you also need to understand jargons that is about to be used. And if you can master it, then I can say your translations can be as good as understandable. That's your
Yes, I think like Shazrin have like summarized enough for our topic today. So what I'm gonna say, like based on our findings, just now we have a lot of findings because we have a different category like you education, you advertisement, me is music, Farhani is about what did you just not law, and you is
about
website and so on. Based on all of these findings, it's recommended that translator use different style or different theory, terminology or strategy to make sure their translation got translate good and accurate enough.
In the quality words.
Yes, good and so on. So thank you for tuning this episode, which is our first episode for our podcast, which is called My 2 Cents in Translation. For sure, we will have another episode of it, so stay tuned and always like follow us on our platform. And if you have any question related to a translation or related to interpretation and so on, feel free to ask us and we will answer if we can. So thank you from us. Bye bye.
Don't forget to
Don't forget to give a shout out to Farhani.